Hi, today we're going to learn about the pronunciation of the letter D. We'll explore how its position in a word can change the pronunciation as well as the various ways it can be pronounced, such as when it sounds like a T, T, and when it sounds like J, and when you can't hear it, silent D. Let's start with the pronunciation of D at the beginning of words. At the beginning of words, D usually has a clear voiced sound. D. So let's get that sound right. Place the tip of your tongue on the alveolar ridge in exactly the same place as for T. Build up pressure by pressing your tongue against the sides of the gums just above the upper teeth to seal the air in, and then release it using your vocal cords. The only difference between D and T is that D is voiced and T is unvoiced. D, D, not T, or even D. Use your voice and say D. Got that? Good. Say after me. Dog, dance, door. Practice saying these words out loud, really loud. Dog, dance, door. Now let's look at the pronunciation of D at the end of words. At the end of words, D often retains its voiced sound, but sometimes it can be softer or almost silent. Try these. Say after me, hand, tired, seed. Now compare these words. Listen to the difference in the sound between when D is at the beginning of a word and when D is at the end of a word. Say after me, done, blonde, deer, beard, door, fraud. Could you hear the difference? When the D was at the end of a word, it was unvoiced and sounded like a T. Blonde, beard, fraud. However, if a following word begins with a vowel, the D is voiced and is linked. Here's an example sentence. His beard always grew quickly. His beard always grew quickly. Did you hear the linking? If not, go back and practice. Now for pronunciation of D in the middle of words. In the middle of words, D can maintain its voiced sound, but it's up to the speaker. Make it as soft or as strong as you want. Listen and repeat after me, saying these words out loud. Body, today, ready, idea, wider. Now for some extra practice. Say this sentence out loud. Diana decided to add a red gate at the end of the garden. Diana decided to add a red gate at the end of the garden. Now listen again to this. Red gate. Can you hear how the D sound is silent here? This is because my tongue went to the alveolar ridge to say the sound, but did not release the sound because it was in too much of a hurry. Instead, my tongue began to prepare to say the following G sound or G sound. We call this a stop D. Okay, so what about those words with two Ds in the middle of a word? Well, it's the same as if there's only one. Say these words out loud after me. Cuddle, muddle, puddle, fiddle, ladder. Now for the pronunciation of D in past tense endings when it sounds like T or T. In some regular past tense endings, D can be pronounced like a T when the verb root ends with a voiceless consonant. Here are some examples. Repeat after me and don't forget, do it out loud. Stopped, liked, watched, not stopped, liked, watched. Try some more. Wished, kicked, helped, reached, laughed. Of course, in English, you can always guarantee there'll be an exception. And that is verbs ending in T, like want. The past form ending of ed sounds like id. Want becomes wanted. Faint becomes fainted. And paint becomes painted. Time for some practice. She walked and talked with her friend last night. They laughed when she said she'd wished she'd kissed him. She walked and talked with her friend last night. They laughed when she said she'd wished she'd kissed him. Practice this as many times as you like until you get it right. Okay, next is pronunciation of D when it sounds like J. So let's get the sound right first. As you can see, J is made up of two consonants merged together, D and J. To pronounce this correctly, you need to merge these two sounds so they happen almost at the same time. So block the air with the blade of your tongue at the junction between the alveolar ridge and the hard palate. The rest of the tongue is slightly raised towards the hard palate, blocking off the air at the sides. Now release it using your vocal cords. J, J. Now practice the sound in these words where D comes before J or J. Repeat after me. Adjust, adjective. Now try these when D comes before U. Repeat after me. Graduate, graduate, education, individual, procedure. Let's now try a practice sentence. Repeat after me, out loud. The judge scheduled an adjustment to the educational program for the adjective workshop. The judge scheduled an adjustment to the educational programme for the adjective workshop. Well done. Now for the silent D. This is where D appears in a word but is not pronounced. This usually happens when the D is between two consonants. Practice saying these words out loud with me. Handkerchief, sandwich, handsome, grandson, grandmother, grandfather. And that very common word, which is actually an exception, as the D comes after a vowel, Wednesday. It's an unusual word and is pronounced Wednesday and not Wednesday. Well done. Today we've explored the various pronunciations of the letter D in British English. Remember to practice these sounds to improve your pronunciation and become more comfortable with the language. For more pronunciation lessons, go here. Until next time, love and peace.